righty. Let's talk about our man over here, Naz Reid, who had one hail of a game. And he's at least going to get the mid-level exception this offseason. But with every good game he has like this, it seems like the man might be getting more than the mid-level exception. This guy could be looking at, a deal similar to Christian Wood got a few seasons ago. What are your thoughts right there?
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, Christian Wood got paid. Not as much as people were thinking, though. So it's not a crazy thought. Someone would have to take more of a gamble on Naz. Defensively, yeah, it makes sense. But, I mean, Naz has had a season like this 2 years ago. He now has the most 20-point games off the bench in the NBA. I don't think he will come back to – I know Minnesota fans want him back. I don't think they'd pay Gobert, Cat, and Naz Reid. I also think Naz Reid's ready to start. This guy kind of owns the Golden State Warriors. In the last 3 games, he's averaging 26-9, 2 steals, a block. Great statistics for splits, I should say. So he kind of owns Golden State. I wouldn't be surprised if a team gives him an opportunity. It's just kind of tough because if we're going to use Christian Wood as an example, I don't know. Christian Wood's not even he's not a starter. So,
but I believe Christian Wood was not a starter either. When he got paid by the Rockets, he was on a bad team, and it was like one season performance, and it was a culmination of prior season. You know what I mean?
We're talking about Christian Wood's first contract.
Yeah, with the Rockets.
Ooh, interesting.
That's what I was talking about. Christian Wood Rockets deal when he went from the Pistons to the Rockets after being a journeyman, and they paid him 4 years, $70 million or something. They gave him like $14 million a year, right?
Give him like 3 years.
14, right? 3 years, 36, 38, something like that, right? They gave him like 15 a year, or like 3 years, 45. That sounds right. 3 years, 45.
Yeah, I think that's what he also just got from Dallas.
I thought Dallas didn't extend him.
Oh, sure, you're right. Yeah, we traded him, and he's on an expiring contract. Yeah. Right. 3 years, 35, 45.
Something like that, because they brought him in to be with Boogie, James Harden, and
they brought him in to be with James Harden, Russell Westbrook, PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon.
All right, that's not
leave Boogie out of that. He didn't. There was
Naz Reid, though. Naz Reid, this guy's been on a tear this season. 18 minutes a night, 11 points. But those numbers aren't real. Don't look at his season stats. The stats you got to look at when you look at Naz Reid. First off, as a starter this season through 11 games, this is a guy who's averaged 16.5 points, shooting about 5 threes a night at 33.3%, 50% from the field on 13 shots a game, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, a block a night, 1.5 steals. Now, since the All-Star break, he's been doing that, but shooting 37.7% in 13 games from 3, 57% from the field on 11 field goal attempts, 16 points, 6 rebounds, assists and a half, block and a steal a game. What are your thoughts on Naz Reid, and do you think a contender will pay? Because this guy, people don't realize 6'9", 264, but moves like a ballerina. Thoughts? Let me hear. Naz Reid.
I just gave you my thoughts on Naz Reid.
What?
I don't think somebody's going to pay him enough to, 3 years, 45. I mean, that's a pretty hefty price. You'd need to find a team like Houston that's trying to do that, which isn't that inconceivable. I'm just saying Naz Reid has had a season similar to this before. I don't think we've seen the 20 pieces at this higher of a rate, but I don't know if he's going to be given the keys to start on a team next year. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. The guy can score. LSU product.
It's not even about being being the keys. I just think he's going to be a guy that people are going to want on their squads.
Yeah, Minnesota, they lost their chance, but enjoy every second you have with them.
Yeah, they also messed up. So Gerson Rosas signed him and Jordan McLaughlin to deals. Also, Jordan McLaughlin's disappeared. Another guy who's kind of disappeared for Minnesota this season, started out really well and just disappeared. Jalen Noel. I know he suffered through injuries, but he's had some disappearing acts this season. His 3-point shot shooting 28.8% after being 39. Kind of crazy, right?
On the whole year?
Yeah, 28% on the season.
Oof.
Yeah, it's not been pretty for him. All people forgot was Yeah, so the team's kind of weird right now. But I want to talk about the fact that I think you're wrong about Naz Reid. I think you're wrong about Naz Reid. People have been licking their chops for Naz Reid since day one. All right.
Yeah.
And he's just a guy who fits the modern NBA so well. And I just think it's like it'd be foolish of us, okay, to think that somebody wasn't gonna pay him. I think he's gonna get like PJ Tucker money.
What's PG on a 1 year, $3 million contract?
3 years, 40 million.
Years.
3 year, 40 million.
Yeah, and that was the worst contract ever. PJ Tucker is so bad at this point in his career offensively. Hopefully he can turn that on in the playoffs. But yeah, okay, 3 years, $40 million to me is not getting paid. To me, getting paid is like $20 million a year. So yeah, somebody's gonna pay Naz Reid. I wonder what team is going to give him, because he should have options. If I'm Naz Reid, I want to get paid, but also I more so want an opportunity. I'm off my rookie contract. I've been coming off the bench for 4 straight seasons. I've had 2 really good years with very limited minutes. I've proven myself when I'm starting that I can be a starting level center. So pay me, but also guarantee me at least 25 minutes a night. I don't think Minnesota's the spot for it. I think we all want, like every Timberwolves fan, I'm sure, wants Naz Reid to stay.
His ability to shoot above the breaks, the break threes, really has the potential. Has shown that he is a great guy who could be like this potentially floor spacing, game changing big that warps defenses in playoffs, and because of the way that they have to defend him, and then his team will also benefit from it that when he's on the floor, as well as his defensive versatility. Maybe that's just me.
But no one's arguing you on that fact. What we will see, though, in the playoffs is how many minutes is Naz Reid going to play, because I don't think he'll play more than 15. Just like last season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think he played 10 minutes in the postseason last year. So that's something to definitely watch out for. Because if Naz Reid gets an opportunity finally, we see him play 20 at least, like basically 20 minutes, and he does his thing, then yeah, someone's definitely gonna pay him. But
so you think it's more about his playoff performance than his regular season performance? What's going to dictate how much he gets paid?
I'm curious to see, because they didn't use him much last year, and now you have even more. Now you have Rudy Gobert. So if he didn't play last year, what's going to happen this year?
No, I mean, I understand that. Hey, Dre saying Naz is him. Naz is him.
Naz is it. Yeah.
I agree. Hey, I think Naz is a guy that you can use in certain lineups a lot better than people will give you credit for. I think he's a guy that definitely is very versatile. I think he's in T-Wolves need to keep him, but I also think the T-Wolves have kind of screwed up, and they should have. I don't think he's going to stay there because he doesn't want to.
Yeah, they seem to screw up a lot of things.
You're telling me, buddy, been a fan of the team for 10 years now, over 10 years.
We'll see, though. They've won, 3 straight now? I think it's 4 straight games where they haven't given up 100 points.
Karl-Anthony Towns, the difference maker, baby.
Karl-Anthony Towns, back-to-back games since coming back, has had the game-winning shot or free throw.
Is that insane? What a stat. What a stat is that. Good for him, honestly.
Jalen McDaniels is
the best defender in the NBA, potentially.
I think he's a future star.
Future star, he says.
Star, yeah.
No, I think it's definitely interesting when you look at it. I think he's a great player. I think he's a guy, at the very least, is going to be the best defender in the league for a while, maybe.
Wow.
But
that's that's the least he's going to do. That's a crazy.
I mean, I think, yeah, because if his offensive game doesn't come around, he'll just be like this fucking defensive maestro like Robert Covington.
Rocco
Hey,
Ty Lue, play Rocco, please.